Have you ever wondered just how far an HOA president will go to control a community? Imagine this. You're enjoying a quiet afternoon at your private pool, only to look up and realize someone is spying on you, with a drone. That's exactly what happened to my sister, Sophia Foster, a kind-hearted young woman who had just started college and was admired for her empathy around the neighborhood. But admiration often sparks jealousy, and for our HOA president, Karen, it turned into an obsession. What Karen didn't realize was that Sophia's older brother, Charles Foster, isn't just protective, he's a former sniper veteran trained to deal with threats. Homeowners associations, or HOAs, can be tricky. On paper, they exist to maintain property values, enforce agreed-upon rules, and build stronger communities. But the reality many homeowners face is that sometimes HOAs end up becoming tools of control for a select few individuals, often those who crave authority. Across the United States, people share horror stories about HOA presidents who overreach, bully residents, and sometimes step into legally questionable territory. That's where this story picks up. In our neighborhood, Sophia, my younger sister, was the kind of person people gravitated toward. She helped elderly neighbors with groceries, volunteered at local fundraisers, and just had an approachable kindness about her. Everyone liked her, or so we thought. The one exception was Karen, our HOA president. Over time, jealousy brewed. Karen didn't like Sophia receiving community praise. She didn't like how Sophia, so new to adulthood, naturally became a figure neighbors trusted. That envy grew darker, until she took things to an entirely new level: surveillance. Karen began using a drone to watch my sister. She'd hover it above our property, monitor who Sophia spoke with, and even track her when she came home from college on weekends. At first, we thought it was paranoia or coincidence, until one unforgettable afternoon changed everything. That incident set into motion a chain of events that not only tested Karen's abuse of HOA power but also revealed what families can legally do when an HOA crosses personal boundaries. It was during the summer, when Sophia had just wrapped up her semester and returned home. She was enjoying a peaceful day at our backyard pool. Headphones in, relaxing in the water, not a care in the world, or so it seemed. That's when I noticed it. The faint buzzing sound of a drone coming closer, the kind of whirring that breaks the natural quiet of a backyard. I stepped out of the house and saw it hovering, angled directly at my sister. It wasn't some random kid's toy either. This was deliberate, targeted, and clearly set up for snooping. The drone stayed fixed on her, circling slowly, almost like it was waiting for the perfect shot of something private. At that moment, all I could think was one thing: someone was invading our home, our sanctuary, and my sister's privacy. Now, for context, when you live under an HOA, certain rules often cover neighborhood drones and surveillance equipment. Many HOAs argue it's about monitoring compliance. But when a president uses a drone to spy on residents, especially in their own private pool, there's no gray area. That's trespassing on personal privacy. Legally, homeowners in most states are protected against aerial surveillance of this nature, especially when it's non-consensual photography on private property. The protective brother in me wasn't about to just stand by. My military background as a sniper gave me the confidence and skill to respond. I retrieved my rifle, adjusted, and within seconds the drone was on the ground in pieces. That might sound dramatic, but let me tell you, nothing compares to the relief on Sophia's face when she realized that invasion of privacy was over. But the bigger question remained: whose drone was it? When we retrieved the remains, the evidence left no doubt. It belonged to Karen, the HOA president. Not only was she possessing surveillance equipment potentially used to harass residents, but she had been actively targeting Sophia, hoping for something scandalous she could twist into HOA business. That revelation brought the debate to the forefront. Can an HOA president legally use tools like drones to police their community? More importantly, what can residents do to protect themselves? The critical insight is this: Karen's behavior wasn't just mean-spirited, it was legally significant. HOAs have power, but that power cannot override federal and state laws protecting privacy. Using a drone for personal spying crosses several lines, including potential harassment, stalking, and violating aviation regulations. For homeowners, this means understanding that HOA authority has limits. After the drone crash, we investigated further, gathering proof that Karen had been sending it out repeatedly. We kept records, documented witness accounts, and ensured that every detail was stored correctly in case the situation moved into legal territory. With that information, we filed a formal complaint, not just with the HOA board, but with local authorities. Filing an internal HOA complaint often isn't enough, especially when the president is the offender. Going to proper channels is critical. The lesson here is not about dramatic retaliation. It is about knowing your rights. If your privacy is being invaded in a community space, you do not have to accept it as just part of living under an HOA. Residents are allowed to push back, consult legal counsel, and in many cases, file police reports. Technology may change, and HOAs may try to justify new power plays under community compliance. But no board member, president, or neighbor is above the law. What mattered most in this story wasn't the takedown of one drone. It was the reminder that without boundaries, HOA authority could creep into our homes, yards, even our private families. And that is where every homeowner should draw the line. By the end of it all, Karen had been exposed. Her drone surveillance was revealed to the wider community, and residents began questioning how much power one person should really have over their neighbors. As the complaint moved forward, the neighborhood realized this wasn't just about Sophia. It was about a larger issue, an HOA president abusing authority in ways that were never meant to happen. For Sophia, the ordeal was stressful, but it also made her stronger. She saw how support and accountability from her family could stand up against intimidation. For me, it reinforced something I've always believed: neighborhoods thrive not because of one powerful leader, but because of fairness, transparency, and respect among residents. That if you've ever dealt with an overreaching HOA president, take this as encouragement. You do have options. Document everything. Know your governing documents. And remember, the law always comes before the HOA's word. So next time someone tells you, "That's just how HOAs work," remind them that communities don't have to live under fear, bullying, or illegal surveillance. People like Karen will eventually be held accountable when neighbors stand together and push back. If you found this story helpful and want to hear more about how regular folks can stand up to HOAs gone too far, then hit that like button if you believe communities deserve transparent leadership. And don't forget to subscribe to HOA Files, where we share real-life stories and clever tactics ordinary people use to reclaim their power. Because at the end of the day, your home should be your safe space, not your HOA president's playground.